Okay, so the internet has kind of been all abuzz about a certain audio clip that has spread, I don't know how far. And there's been a lot of scientific explanation going around as to why I think this is and why I think that is. And I won't call it misinformation, but I think a lot of them don't mention some key factors that I believe plays a role in why certain people are hearing one word and why some people are hearing another word. And people are talking about frequencies and oh, you're hearing this frequency and you're hearing that frequency. And if you actually look at the spectrograph, you can see that they're almost kind of right, except the bandwidth, which is the frequency range that this clip exists in, is so narrow that you're not really talking about people's hearing necessarily, because it all is pretty much right there in the middle of our human hearing. So what I did yesterday is I took my phone and I plugged it into my computer through my recording device, and I recorded the video clip into Adobe Audition just so that I could look at it and see what's actually going on and kind of analyze the file, because I had a feeling it was a stereo file. I was correct. In this file, there are some phase issues that are happening. There's also a lot of what I'm going to call either harmonics, overtones, or artifacts in the video file, and I'll explain all that in a little bit. But basically what you have happening is you've got somebody who recorded on, I'm going to guess, their phone, because you can hear the room sound. So it's not even a pure audio file. So what you can hear is the person clicking on the mouse if you really listen. And so you're hearing reflections that are going on in the room from whatever speakers this person is using. And I wouldn't at all be surprised if whoever generated this file actually hid some high frequency garbage in. And I'll show you that here in just a second. So we're going to take a look at the files on my computer. I'll take some screenshots so you can see what is actually going on and why I think this is tricking so many people. So here we go. Let's take a different look. Okay, so what we're looking at here is the file that I recorded from my phone into my audio device that is the one that's been from the internet, that everybody has listened to. Everybody, not everybody, but a lot of you have heard it. If you're watching this video, chances are you've already listened to this clip. Before playing the clip, I'm going to show you the one that I recorded. The same word that is being contested here. Do you notice that they're kind of similar? You can see right here, there's this little dip right here. There's some stuff going on in the low frequency range. See, there you go. It's right there. There's some little overtones from that, and then all the stuff in the low frequency range. What I want to draw your attention to is all this stuff, okay? All this stuff right here. So I'm going to play the audio file from the internet, and you tell me. I'm going to let it play 3 times, and take a listen and see what you think.
Laurel, Laurel, Laurel.
Okay? Some of you probably heard the word Laurel. Some of you probably heard the word Yanny. Now, I'm going to do something here. Here we go. You ready? Listen to this. This is only the lower frequency information up to about 3.5 kilohertz. So plenty of information to get you into the vocal range. Intelligibility is there. So, but take a listen.
Laurel, Laurel, Laurel.
Interesting, huh? Now let's move this up and let's take a listen into the upper register here. And let's eliminate all the low frequencies. So we're starting at about 2.5 kilohertz, actually 1.5 kilohertz on to about 6 kilohertz is the range that we're going to be listening to right now. Becomes a little less clear now, doesn't it? So I'm going to select all the way up to 20 kilohertz, even though there's really nothing in this file, nothing in this clip past about 8 kilohertz, which is well below our limit for human hearing. So people that kind of claim, oh, it's because you've got high frequency hearing loss, I would argue that point, because I would say that there are not a whole lot of people that lose their hearing all the way down to 3 kilohertz. So let's listen to just the upper end to the 3 kilohertz range. So this is 20 kilohertz to 3 kilohertz. Kind of hard to hear, but that's what you're hearing. So now let's jump over to the clip that I recorded. This is no environmental factors. This is my computer plugged with a cable in, recorded directly, no microphones involved. So take a listen.
Laurel, 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 Laurel.
What you'll notice in this clip is there is not a lot of extra high frequency information. So what is going on in this clip here is you can see the intensity here in the higher frequencies are likely smearing your ability to really discern what is actually being said. And I would argue that it's the information in this frequency range right here that really defines what the word is, and this stuff up here is just junk. It's either there on purpose, it's somebody messing around with an EQ. I don't know how this was generated. I tried throwing distortion. I tried throwing filters on it, and I could not get that frequency band to respond like that. Sure, anatomy is going to play a large part in it. Each person's ears are different, so you've got that environmental factor of what's going on when your ears, the sound waves are resonating inside your ears. But I do think this is a really interesting case study, if you will, into how things can be so incredibly subjective when we hear them. Because what I hear versus what you hear could be two completely different things. And even at that, somebody in my office, when she was playing the file on her phone with the speaker pointed towards her, she heard one word and she pointed the phone away from her and she heard a different one. And it was repeatable. Every time she did it and flipped her phone around, the word that she was hearing changed. And so there's a lot going on there. And what I'm thinking is going on here is all of this extra high frequency information is confusing our brains. And it's making us think that we're hearing something that's actually not really there. So none of the pitch shifting stuff, none of the you've lost your hearing, this, that, or the other. It's really just the fact that whoever recorded this file used a microphone in a room. You're catching the reflections of that room. You're catching the positioning of where that microphone was in the room whenever it was recorded. And so scientific explanation is it's really just a bad recording. That's what I've come up with. So take it or leave it, like it or hate it. That's my words, and I'm sticking to it.